Revelation 22. The lights of the New Jerusalem. Then he showed me a river of the water of life, clear as crystal, coming from the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the middle of its street, on either side of the river, was the tree of life, bearing 12 kinds of fruit, yielding its fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were at the heading of the nations. And there will be no longer any curse. And the throne of God and of the Lamb will be in it. His bondservants will serve him, and they will see his face, and his name will be on their foreheads. And there will no longer be any night, and there will not have any need of the light of a lamp or the light of the sun, because the Lord God will illumine them, and they will reign forever and ever. You know, when we get to heaven, I think I've covered this in some videos, but just think of what it's going to be like. You know, all 5 of our senses are going to be upgraded. All 5 of our senses are going to be upgraded. I've often read that we use about 10% of our brain. Sometimes I think people use less, but we use about 10% of our brains. Eyesight, taste, smell, hearing, all kicked up a notch. Just the colors that we will be able to see. Our sense of taste, just think of how different it'll be. I'm deaf in my left ear. Just think of the sounds and the music that we will experience in heaven. I sat here reminiscing, and what are some of your favorite smells? I'm deaf and I'm blind, but my sense of smell has always been my greatest asset. What are some of your favorite senses of smell? How about freshly cut grass on a nice spring day? I used to wake up and walk outside, and my dad would be mowing the grass, and the smell of that fresh cut grass just always just triggers memories. How about coffee? Some of you may not like to taste of coffee or like coffee, but you can't help but that freshly brewed coffee, or even coffee houses. You wake up and you walk into that coffee house smell. Or remember the or remember opening up that freshly can of coffee. How about barbecue? I love the good smell of barbecue. How about bread baking? Or you walk into a bakery shop. Cookies and donuts and pies and cakes. Freshly baked bread. How about freshly washed clothes? I used to go walking at my parents' house when I was growing up. I always loved to walk. Put on some music, go for a walk, and I remember every Monday I would get to a section of houses, and I guess it was wash day, because every Monday you can always smell freshly closed laundry. Oranges? You like the smell of oranges? How about roses? My grandparents always had rose bushes lined alongside of a long fence. And on spring days and summer days, in the mornings, you can really smell those roses. How about the smell of rain? I love the smell after it rains. It's always fresh. Seawater? I don't like the beach, but you walk along the beach and you smell that seawater and that beach smell. I can go on and on. What are some of your favorite smells? Some of it just freshly baked blueberry pancakes. My grandmother used to bake them all the time when we spent the night. Blueberry pancakes. Which moves on to taste. What are some of your favorite taste? I love a good fresh cup of coffee. Fresh cup of coffee. How about really fresh fruit right out of the farmer's market or right out of the garden? I miss my grandparents' garden. Fresh tomatoes right out of the garden. Those store-bought, pardon my French, that store-bought crap was awful. Fresh tomatoes right out of the garden. Picked right off the vine, washed, cut. Peanut butter. You like peanut butter? You stir it, the oil's on top, you have to mix it up and stir it. I like to grab a spoon and eat it right out of the jar. You like to taste the spiced apple cider? Hot on a cold day? Mesquite grilled chicken. Mesquite grilled chicken. Which reminds me, burning wood. I love the smell of cedar and pine burning in the fireplace. And you hear that popping in that pop in the fireplace. Mesquite grilled chicken, right out of the barbecue. Tomato salsa, or a really good tomato gravy, or a really good tomato sauce. Nothing in the world like it. Which leads me to spices like cinnamon and nutmeg. I'm not particularly a fan of hot chocolate, but when I do get in the mood, you sprinkle some nutmeg and some cinnamon and some hot chocolate. Freshly baked cookies. I love, right, and it's almost too hot to handle, and the wife finishes baking chocolate chip cookies, and you grab one off the cooling rack, and you eat it while it's still soft and hot. freshly cooked cookies. What are some of your favorite tastes and some of your favorite smells? Yeah, they're playing. Some of your favorite touches. How about cotton or silk or snow? You take the glove off and you feel that snow. Or rain. I love the feel of rain. Whenever on a hot July day in Texas, I like to stand out in the middle of the yard and just feel the rain come over me. Rain. Or you take your feet off and you're just walking through the softest grass, weed-free, sticker-free. You take your shoes off and you just walk through the fresh grass. Or you hold your spouse's hand. I love holding my wife's hand. What are your favorites? What are your favorite sounds? When I went to Florida, and I've told this story before, they kept me in the living room because on the couch because I woke up too early. And I'd wake up. Yeah, I drank coffee as a kid. I always liked coffee, so I'd brew me some coffee. I'd brew it for whenever everybody wakes up, and I'd take it out on the balcony because we rented a condo. And I would love to just listen to the waves crashing on the beach. Wave after wave crashing on the beach. Or some good classical music or some jazz. I love music. What'll music be like in heaven? I love the sound of a really good guitar. I used to love sitting on the porch and listening to the birds. What are your favorite sounds? I love just listening to the wind or listening to the rain patter on the window. You know, when we'd go camping, again, I'd wake up early and I'd sit along the river banks and listen just to the river trickling down, the water trickling down the river. What are your favorite sounds? I say that to say heaven's going to be an extraordinary place. I don't think that God is going to do a memory wipe. I think each sound, each taste, each smell is going to trigger a memory from when we were here on earth, some good memories. It's going to trigger some memories. Maybe we'll share it with some of our family there in heaven. You know, heaven's going to be an extraordinary place. Meeting a couple of times a week at the Tree of Life, picking down our favorite fruits. Or walk along the new earth. There's going to be gardens. Don't tell me there's not. There's going to be gardens. You're going to pick that fresh tomato or that fresh squash. Oh, I love squash. or you pick those fresh strawberries right off the vine. And while we're in heaven, you hear the music of the birds. Think about it. That's what we have to look forward to. And not being a party poop, which leads me to pity. I pity for the lost. I look around at work and I know some of my coworkers, they're lost. And I pity them. Not a bad pity. I feel sorry for them. And I pray for their salvation. There's a same-sex couple at work. And they look happy. But I feel for them. Because this will be unless they get saved, this will be the only heaven that they will ever see. One of them has a picture on their desk. It's a picture of an amusement park. You know the camera at the end of the amusement ride that takes their picture as they're going down? And they're smiling, they're laughing. They got their kids with them. And I pity them. Because at the end of the day, they really don't have anything to look forward to. We do. And that keeps me going. My favorite smells, my favorite taste, my favorite sounds. What'll it be like in heaven? Read Revelation 21 and 22. The New Jerusalem is going to be absolutely beautiful. And you know what? I'm going to have a home there. It's going to be glorious. But then I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick some prime real estate on the new earth. Maybe beside, I think there's going to be bodies of water. I don't think there's going to be any oceans. But I think there's going to be like lakes and rivers. And I truly think so. I think there's going to be mountains. And I'm going to build the most glorious lodge out there. And I'm going to go back and forth between that and the New Jerusalem. I'm going to have barbecues and jam sessions. Anybody who can visit can visit. We have something to look forward to. But you have to be saved today. You have to be saved in order to... Eternity is a really long time. I couldn't even imagine spending eternity in hell. I can't imagine spending eternity in heaven. And that's not a bad thing. When I say I can't imagine, my imagination can't even fathom for 1 second what it'll be like in heaven. I can't even fathom it for a second. I can't even imagine the glories of heaven. I've been sitting here thinking about my favorite smells, and it just, I like to reminisce. And every one of those smells brought back a memory. Just sitting here thinking about it. Some good memories. And that's what we have to look forward to in heaven. But you have to be saved today. You have to be washed in the blood. You have to be forgiven of your sins. And that's it. Join us. Join us today. Like, share, subscribe. I don't know. Just anybody want a dog? Get saved today. The glories of heaven await us. The glories of heaven await us. Join us. We have all eternity to just enjoy, kicked up a notch, what we experienced here in heaven, or here on earth. We're going to experience there in heaven 1,000-fold. Wonder what pie will taste like in heaven. A really good fresh baked apple pie. Or cherry. I don't like cherries, but some people do. A fresh cherry pie with some cream on top. Or peach cobbler. Or blackberry cobbler. We're known here in Texas for our blackberries. And there in heaven, I think it'll be seed-free. All right. I've rambled on enough. God bless. Maranatha. Get safe today. Like, share. And if you unsubscribe, resubscribe. Peace out.